Hi mate, great to meet up with you yesterday and do a little bit of work on your game. I mean, before we start, the big key issue we had initially was understanding your ball flight. I've emailed the flight scope data to you from both the start of your session and the end of your session. Start your session very random, starting point to all your shots. Towards the end of your session, much more uniform starting direction, largely due to the understanding that you gained of what's starting the ball and what's bending the ball. Remember, the golden rule here is we want the ball to, or the blade starts the golf ball on its initial journey. So we need to point the club face in the general direction in which we want the ball to start. So if we want to play a right to left shot, we've got to have a club face that's pointing slightly to the right at setup, and we need to keep the hands very quiet through impact. The minute we release the golf club, we're going to square the club face up. The ball's going to start off too straight. If we then swing from the inside out, we're going to hook it to the left. Once we've done one of those, we're going to start to swing to the left or open the blade up too much, and then we're going to have this random ball flight that we saw yesterday. So ball starts in the general direction of the blade and bends away from the path. In regards to the swing itself, I mean, the first thing we notice with yourself is that we do have this tendency to sort of move off it a little bit too much. If we look here at the top, it looks quite short, looks quite controlled, some good positions, but not full enough. Now the big differences here are that this gentleman in the left here, or the right of you, has allowed his right hip to get a little bit higher. He's allowed his right leg to just straighten a little bit. As a result, he's been able to tilt to the left a little bit more than we see with yourself. So if we put a line across your torso there, the biggest difference between you and him is that he's more on the red line. So as we're looking, he's tilted a little bit more towards his target with his upper body. This is you're able to do this if you get the hip turning, or the right hip turning a little bit higher, and that right knee freeing up a little bit. That's going to give you a much fuller looking swing and free everything up on the way down. So key thought for you initially is to tilt to the left as you start your takeaway. So if we take a little look at what he does, first move away from the ball, we take it back down to set up. Left shoulder works down and across. Down and across. We take a little look at what happens with yourself. Left shoulder works across. As the left shoulder works across, that's moving you off the golf ball. Whenever we move off the golf ball, we've just moved the low point of the arc behind the ball. We've just now made it very easy for ourselves to hit the ground behind the ball or catch the ball on the upswing, which results in a number of different shots. In your case, a little bit thin and sliced off to the right. So that staying more centered on the way back is done by your left shoulder working down and allowing your right hip to just raise a little bit during the backswing. If we take a little look at you from down the line, we're a little bit too close to it at setup. We need to get the arms a little bit further away from us so that the arms don't have to move out during the takeaway. They can move in during the takeaway. Arms in. And again, if the left shoulder is working properly, the arms will tend to work in better anyway. So from a setup position, we want the arms a little bit more outwards rather than being very much underneath us. So arms out, a little bit of left tilt on the way back, get that left shoulder working down more and free up that right hip. Good luck with it, and I'll speak again in a couple of weeks' time. Well done.